Welcome to Productive Joy with Dr. Christie, where fun meets action.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Productive Joy. I am having so much fun, and I am genuinely hoping that you are having just as much fun with me. So if this is your first Productive Joy experience, welcome. This is the Productive Joy recap, and we are so excited to have you here to talk about our two amazing guests that we had this week, Kemp and Paige Arnof-Fenn. Okay, so the stars keep aligning, and I am really enjoying watching the process happen. And so when I book people to record the podcast, they pick a date that works for them, right? And then I pair them according to the groupings. And so far, everything has lined up that there's a theme throughout the week. So the theme throughout this week is really about finding your own unique genius and leaning into that. How cool is that? So Amy Kemp is amazing. They both are amazing, but Amy is a thought habit coach, and she uses an assessment called the Habit Finder as one of the ways that she coaches people. But she really is just a light in the darkness, the kind of person that you would want to spend some time with. She's very authentic and warm and just makes people feel like they belong. And her number one thing is the development of people, getting people to develop in who they're meant to be. And she used the phrase finding people's unique genius. And I adore that because I feel like that's kind of my calling, but also something that I have leaned into hard in the last, let's say, year and a half. I've always called it leveraging people's talents, but it's the same thing, right? Figuring out what people are good at and then letting them do more and more of that. So like I have a team member who is an excellent mentor. She has really great systems for how she does her work, and she's really good at communicating those systems with others and helping it fit within their personalities, not putting her way on others, but showing a couple different ways of doing things and then guiding people to find their own comfort in that space. So that's her and her unique genius and how she can lean in. I have another team member who's unbelievably good in front of people. And so I am trying to do everything in my power to make sure she gets to be the one that is standing in front of others and delivering information because she is fun and vibrant and exactly what you would want in a training situation. You have to know your people first. Right? And you have to know yourself first because we all have gifts, and those gifts are things that we know we can do, but we don't always lean into them and we don't always see them as something that we could turn into our careers, but you can. And so what I really appreciated about Amy was her reminder that we do all have this unique genius. And it's the thing that we're really good at that we don't even realize we're doing because it's easy to us, right? Like I'm going to be honest, I can command a room. It's not a show. They're going to learn something, but they might feel like they have been to some sort of performance. I do a whole lot of training of people. Sometimes that's in small groups, sometimes that's in large groups. I can walk into really any room and I can, within the first 3 or 4 minutes, get everybody to at least be paying attention and kind of leaning in like, oh my gosh, what's she going to do next? And no, I don't flip cartwheels or do anything crazy. I do give scratch and sniff stickers, but I just have a honed skill of getting people to be comfortable in a space and then teaching them something. Now, maybe that's because for 25 years I've been an educator, most of that time with adults. Maybe that's because it's something I've practiced literally every day of my life for the last probably 48 years, or maybe it's just that that's my unique genius. What's yours? I don't know all of you individually, but I do know a lot of you individually, and I could probably sit down with you and have that conversation. Amy Kemp would be much more equipped to do exactly that. So reach out to her because she was phenomenal and she would help you, or I can help you figure out your unique genius so that you can leverage that, right? I want everybody to leverage their talents for the greater good because that's what makes work fun. That's productive joy. Productive joy is that opportunity to say, you know what? I am going to focus on this because this is where my genius lives. I am not judging a fish on its ability to climb a tree. I am focused on the fact that the fish should be in the water, putting it in the water and then watching it swim and being really impressed. That's what we as leaders should be doing for our people. And if you're not, and if this sounds like I'm speaking some sort of foreign language, then we need to talk. Reach out to me, Christie at aimwithus.com or any of the socials, and just say, hey, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know how to do that. I've got 200 employees. How am I supposed to know what they can all do? Let us help you. And Amy would be a great resource for that as well. So talked to Amy. She was delightful. And she gave that foundational, what are we doing that we're really, really good at, and how can we do more of that? And then I interviewed Paige Arnof-Fenn. And Fenn is spelled different than my maiden name. My maiden name is Fenn, F-I-N-N. She is F-E-N-N. I just thought that was kind of fun. So she started a company called Mavens and Moguls. Talk about a great name. Well, it's a marketing company. It should have a great name. She even talked about that. But she has ridden the wave of marketing since the 80s, and she has dealt with the entrance of the internet and then the morphing of the internet. Because if you think about what the internet was in 1999 versus now, oh goodness, did it change? And she rode the wave of the crash of any funding going to marketing in 2001 after 9/11. And that's when she started Mavens and Moguls. And here she is, 23 years later, really 24 years later, doing some pretty awesome things. And what I loved about her was her encouragement to be honest with yourself about what you want to be doing versus what you think you should be doing. Her entire family was in finance, so she thought she was supposed to be in finance. She did it for 2 years. She was darn good at it, but she wasn't happy. And how often do we do that? We do the thing because we think that's the thing we're supposed to do, but the reality is that might not be our thing. And it's okay to shift. Like when I think about how sure I was that I was going to retire a high school teacher, I mean, I just knew. I knew I was going to teach students for the rest of my days. But it was my job. So I mean, let me take you on a little trip. It was my job when I first started teaching, when I moved to Florida, to teach students in a course called AVID. AVID is the organization that I also work for, that I love, that I find to be a true gift to educators and therefore students. What AVID does is it makes educators better at what they do so that students have options when they graduate. And so I spent 2 years telling my students, you've got to push yourself. You've got to try new things. You've got to take risks. You've got to take these honors classes. And the reason you're taking these honors classes is so that you can go to college if you want to, or go to trade school, or join the military, but you have options. And then a job popped up where I would leave the classroom and go train teachers for AVID in our district. And I looked at those kids and I went, well, shoot. If I've been telling them for the last 2 years that they've got to take risks, guess what I've got to do? I've got to take a risk. And so I did. And I'm so grateful because that led to becoming a staff developer for Avid Center. And then for the last 13 years, I have worked for them and have gotten to see the world, to educate probably, I don't know, 5 to 10,000 educators over that time, and see really amazing things happening across this country. I feel good about that, right? But I did it because I followed my giftings instead of thinking I had to stay in a career. So what Paige encouraged us to do is to recognize that happiness can equal success, but success does not equal happiness. Think about that. Happiness can equal success. This podcast is called Productive Joy. The idea behind it is truly where you can get fun to meet action. How can you enjoy what you're doing and continue to do it, but make some money doing it and actually let that be who you are in your career? Happiness can equal success. When you're happy, when you're fulfilled, when you have joy, you really are doing things that make you feel successful and make you successful. But success does not equal happiness, because we all know super successful people who are miserable human beings because they have defined success as making a whole lot of money. But that's not really the end game, because every time they make more money, they just need to make more money, right? Where's their contentment? Where's their joy? Where is that point at which they realize, you know what? I am exactly where I need to be. So here's my challenge to you today from Amy, from Paige, and from Christie. What's your unique genius? Do you know what it is? Can you tell it to me? Can you clearly articulate what your giftings are? And if you can't, let's start there. But once you know what your gifts are, what are you doing with them? Are they things that you put in a corner over here? You say, I'm really good at these things, but I'm going to leave them over here. Or is it right in the forefront of everything that you do every single day? And if it's not, can you ask yourself why not? Because I believe that productive joy is a necessity, but I also believe it's a choice. I think joy is a choice, and to be productive with it is to shift from busyness to productivity. It's to shift from doing things for the sake of doing them or because you have to because I want to, because this is bringing me the kind of joy that I'm seeking. Big, tall order today, huh? And yet I know you can do it. As a matter of fact, I am pulling for you in ways you cannot know. So I know I'm a lot extra. We've talked about it. I get it. But y'all, this is me. Like, this is legitimately me. I get this excited about helping you because that's what brings me joy. So I don't know what you need today, but I do know that I'm here for you 100%. And if I can help you in any way find some of that joy, let's do it. Let's do it together. Again, you can reach out to me via email, Christie@aimwithus.com, or you can just look up productive joy, type it in the computer, and search it, see what you find. You're going to find pictures of me. You're also going to find episodes that might help, but I don't want you to feel like you're on this journey alone. You're not. We're right here with you. And by we, I mean me, myself, and I, for sure, and all of the productive joy friends, because we want to see you succeed. We want to see you become exactly who you're designed to be. And I cannot wait to be your biggest fan. So thank you for being a part of Productive Joy. Thank you for taking a risk on me. Thank you for spending time learning from others who are figuring it out too. And thank you for being amazing. I am so proud to call you my friends. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I think you are exceptional. And I cannot wait to see what sort of fun you turn into action.